Well, people walking through Tricentennial Park had a little visitor today. An alligator crawled up from the water and right onto the banks of the park. What would you do?
Well, I would run the other way. Wildlife and fisheries experts say the alligator was just taking in a little sun, but it kind of spooked a few people who were there in the park. Fox 2 News reporter Toy Thornton is in the newsroom with more on the story. And Toy, those officials say we might see more gators popping up for sun.
Yeah, they did. Byron and Lenise Game Warden Pete Mitchum says alligators aren't fond of the cold weather, and with the change in temperature today, they're desperate for a little warmth.
I thought it was like a little plastic snake. And I was like, dog. And I looked again, I was like, no.
What Cedric Reed was seeing is this alligator he was able to snap a picture of.
He looked to be like he was about 5-6 feet long, and he was right there on the edge of the water.
I just glanced at him, I'm like, dog. I ain't never seen one in person like that. I've seen him on TV, but not in person.
Reed says he rides his bike through Tricentennial Park quite often, but he's never come upon a wild animal like this.
Riding the bike from over here and came up here. So when I got right here, that's when I seen him right there.
Game Warden Pete Mitchum says 3 Mile Creek, which has lots of gators, is right next to the park. So it's no surprise that the gator showed up in this body of water.
When people walking by, they were a little concerned about the alligator. He was actually sunning himself on the bank, but you know, we've had some unusually warm weather, so it's got him moving around a little bit.
Wildlife officials say the alligator was just trying to get a little sun to warm up from the cold. It's something you might see quite often during the season. Meanwhile, if you do see them, don't feed them.
When people start throwing the chicken or the bread out there, they start associating people as a food source, and they're naturally going to approach a person, and that's when we run into the problems of them being nuisance alligators or a threat to the public.
Mitchum says this alligator in particular didn't show any aggression, but he did try to catch it and relocate it back to the 3 Mile Creek. However, the gator never came back up.
Their body temperature is regulated, and they've had enough of the sunshine. They're going to go back in the water and continue being an alligator.
Now, if you do happen to see one out, Mitchum says not to pet it, keep your distance, and don't feed it. In the newsroom, Toy Thornton, Fox 10 News.